The term bulldozer justice refers to the practice in certain parts of India where authorities use bulldozers to demolish the homes, shops, and properties of alleged offenders, often without a proper legal process. This trend has sparked a significant debate about its ethical, legal, and constitutional implications. What are the ethical issues involved? First, due process of law. Bulldozer justice raises concern about the violation of rights due to process. In many cases, demolition occurs without prior notice, investigation, or legal hearings, violating the principle that everyone is entitled to a fair trial before being punished. Second, rule of law. The action challenge the rule of law, a fundamental ethical principle. By bypassing established legal procedures, the practice undermines the trust in judicial systems and sets a precedent for arbitrary and extrajudicial actions by the state. Third, discrimination and targeting. There are allegations that this practice disproportionately targets certain communities, raising ethical concerns about bias, discrimination, and the violation of equality before law, which contradicts the constitutional principle of non-discrimination. Fourth, human dignity and rights. Demolishing homes and properties affects people's basic human rights, such as the right to shelter and right to livelihood. From an ethical standpoint, depriving individuals and families of their homes without providing alternative solution violates their dignity. Fifth, collective punishment. Often families and communities are punished collectively for the alleged crimes of individuals. Ethically, punishing innocents along with the accused conflicts with the principle of individual accountability. Sixth, arbitrary use of power. The use of bulldozer justice can be seen as an abuse of state power. Ethical governance requires checks and balances, and arbitrary action threatens these foundations. What are the pros of bulldozer justice? Deterrent effect. Advocates of bulldozer justice argue that it serves as a strong deterrent against crime and illegal activities, sending a clear message that the state will act swiftly and decisively. Second, speedy action. In situations where legal proceedings are slow and complex, bulldozer justice provides immediate visible action. It also presents a way to tackle entrenched criminal network, land mafias, or illegal encroachments. Public perception of justice. In cases where people feel frustrated by delays in the legal system, bulldozer justice might create a perception that justice is being served quickly, gaining public support in some areas. Cons of bulldozer justice. Violation of legal and constitutional rights. The primary con is that it bypasses the due process of law, violating both legal and constitutional rights, such as the right to a fair trial, the right to property, and the right to shelter. Risk of abuse. The practice opens up significant risk for misuse of power by local authorities, where bulldozing might be used to settle political scores, target specific communities, or show selective enforcement of the law. Undermining judiciary. Bypassing the judicial process undermines the authority of courts and the judiciary. It can erode public confidence in the justice system, creating a parallel extrajudicial process that diminishes legal institutions' role. Injustice and misuse. Innocent individuals or those who are unrelated to any crime can suffer unjust consequences, including the loss of homes, livelihood, and properties. This often leaves them with little or no recourse for compensation. What is Supreme Court's take on bulldozer justice? The Supreme Court of India has intervened in several cases where bulldozer justice was practiced, often expressing concern over the violation of due process. The court has pointed out that, first, demolition should follow proper legal procedures and cannot be used as a form of punishment without judicial sanction. Second, the court has emphasized that any action by state authorities, such as demolition, must follow principle of natural justice, including giving notice and an opportunity to be heard. Third, in some instances, the court has stayed demolition, citing concerns over discrimination, targeting, and the arbitrary use of power by the authorities. Fourth, however, the court has also held that if a structure is illegal and proper legal processes are followed, demolition may be justified. What are the ethical perspectives? From an ethical standpoint, bulldozer justice possesses several challenges. The core principles of justice in an ethical society, such as fairness, equality before law, and protection of human dignity, are compromised when due process is ignored. Justice, to be ethical, must be rooted in transparency, accountability, and non-discrimination. When actions are taken without the checks and balances of the legal system, they risk devolving into forms of vigilante justice or authoritarianism, undermining democracy. While proponents argue that swift justice can act as a deterrent and tackle deeply entrenched crime, ethical governance demands that the ends should not justify the means. Ethical decisions require respecting rights even when acting against those accused of the crime. As John Rawls' theory of justice suggests, fairness is at the heart of justice, and any action that violates fairness, even in pursuit of security, possesses serious ethical concerns. In conclusion, bulldozer justice, despite its appeal as a quick solution to crime and illegal activities, raises significant ethical issues. It undermines the rule of law, due process, and human dignity, all of which are foundational to just society. While it may have practical advantages in the short term, its long-term effects on justice, governance, and equality can be deeply damaging.